So now we have a series of short talks, a 5-minute, then lightning talks, and these are going to run without questions. But I think all of these people have posters, and so on the way to lunch at the end, you can talk to them at posters, or over lunch, talk to them at posters so that you can get questions in with data in front of you. So first up is Laura O'Brien from MCRI.
Hi, my name's Laura. I'm a researcher from the Murdoch Children's Research Institute, and I'm just going to be quickly talking about the Australian Biobank for chromosome 15 imprinting disorders. So I organised the recruitment for Victoria and some of the other states, and then Marta up the back there, she does the recruitment in New South Wales. All right, so as we've heard a couple of times today, Prader-Willi syndrome is a genetic disorder that affects the genes on chromosome 15. And while we know that the genes on this chromosome affect brain development, there's still a lot that we don't know. So the Biobank was established in 2019 at the MCRI, and we've been collecting biospecimens and phenotypic data and storing it in the Biobank for several years now. So we extract DNA from various biological samples, so from blood, saliva, cheek swabs, and viable white blood cells. And these white cells are frozen, which we can later convert into other types of cells, such as neurons, for future research. And we also do clinical and psychological assessments, which consist of intellectual functioning and autism spectrum disorder standardised tools. And we also get questionnaires and interviews from parents or caregivers to get a very good, thorough understanding of the individual's development, their eating habits, and any behavioural problems. So I guess the main objective of this resource is to create a chromosome 15 biobank that collates all these biospecimens and all the data in one place. And then that can be used to answer many different types of research questions that are of importance to the Prader-Willi communities. So to be involved in the study, participants need to have a confirmed diagnosis of PWS and to meet our inclusion and exclusion criteria. And that just consists of the participant being older than 6 months and to have a diagnostic report confirming PWS diagnosis and that they have no other genetic conditions. And then we schedule the sample collection and the assessments, which typically takes a couple hours altogether. The biological samples are taken by trained professionals, usually in a hospital or pathology setting. And then this data is then stored securely and de-identified in the biobank and includes quality control monitoring. So for any researchers who may be interested in accessing the biobank data, retrieval and transfer of samples and or data can be requested by researchers. So an application form must be submitted, and then once it's approved, we obviously need ethics approval for your project. If there's new projects or if projects need ethics modifications, of course, we're happy to assist with this submission process. And then once that's been approved, the researcher just needs to provide annual progress and final reports will be required. So currently, to date, we have 39 participants in the biobank, 29 of which are people with Prader-Willi syndrome, and we have representation of all subtypes. And this has been pretty good progress over the last few years, despite the significant interference caused by COVID. So we're hoping that this data sharing platform will be a more efficient way for researchers and families to get answers to the research questions we're wanting. Having this data available to other researchers will maximise the benefit of sample collection for the people with Prader-Willi syndrome. Participants will also be able to have psychological assessments and reports produced for their own records. We expect our research to be used in many different ways to improve our understanding of the causes of Prader-Willi syndrome, but we'll hopefully go on to design treatment strategies and provide more accurate prognostic information for the families. So yes, for any researchers who would like more information or are interested in accessing the biobank, you could contact David Godler or me or Marta, or if you yourself, a person with Prader-Willi syndrome, or if you're involved with anyone in these communities, please feel free to take a flyer. We have a stall out there because we'd love to discuss how you could be involved and how you can help us with recruitment. And I think David's participating in the panel discussion later, so he's happy to talk about that more and answer any questions then. Thank you.